couldn't run, couldn't perform that well. Arian Foster looks like he's over the hill. Steven Jackson's 30 years old. What was this jackass doing? He could have had Sean McCoy. His receivers suck. He has Randall Cobb, but he needs to make an improvement. His best player, Julius Thomas, was the first game performing. That's great, but your bench is weak as well. You can't start two quarterbacks. Sorry. Maybe this team needs a change. Maybe he needs Phil Rivers. I don't know. There's been a lot of teams in the league calling for him to get him again. It's been a focal point of this team in the past, and maybe that'll be a big move for him this week. I don't know. The waivers are going to be hot. We're excited to see that. I'm excited to see some interesting matchups. But right now, he's just an average team. If some of his players don't step up, this team might be in danger for the first time not making the playoffs. We're just not that impressed after week one. Coming up next, you actually might be surprised to see this team here. He is a fantasy regular season champion. Never actually won a playoff game. But coming up next on the list, we actually have his Toomey Hall. We're giving him points because he had a great first name the first week. And Tags was on the rag. Way to bring that up. That's a way going back, and we know Dahlberg still does have a lot of feelings for her. So he expressed them to me this weekend when he was here too. So that was a good name there. Your team actually impressed us. Michael Vick had a great game. Looks like he's going to thrive in that Chip Kelly offense. Your running backs weren't that bad. Put up a lot of yards. The problem was they weren't able to get in the end zone. And then Calvin Johnson only had 3 points. He's not going to do that every week. He's going to be able to score more than that. And then you have a lot of decent bench players, some running backs that some teams may want that don't have running backs. Bilal Paul looks like he may emerge as a starter. Hartline had a pretty good game. Did a good job drafting there. You didn't score that many points, but the upside for this team, we love it a lot. There's definitely a lot of chance for success down the road. So the next team, actually moving right on, actually won the championship for Bloomfield in week one. Was real excited about that, but he's kind of low in our power rankings. We have Smallberg. Let's be honest. Look at the team. Peyton Manning had 48. A.J. Green had 28. He absolutely has no running backs. Monty Ball and Chris Ivory both suck. They don't get majority of the carries. The only reason that we actually even have you this high is because the fact that your receivers are really strong. You benched Anquan, and he had a huge game. If you would start him over, say, Mike Wallace or someone else, he actually would have had the most points in the league. But Peyton Manning's not going to score 48 points every week. A.J. Green's not going to score 28. You need to turn around, maybe trade one of those big players to someone else. I know there's a lot of teams in the market looking to make a trade right now. You got a lot of big names, but you have no balance at all. You better fix that, or you won't be in the championship. I mean, you'll be a playoff team, but you won't make the championship. It's not in your cards. Next team here on our list actually got the win in week one here. Actually was the one that ended up taking Keith down in the Battle of the Roommates. So you'd think that there's a lot of tension in the house, but I guess the rumor was Keith wasn't even in the room watching the game against them. So it's no surprise here that Chone Magone actually ended up winning the game. Looking at his team, what we really like about this team here is he has 3 players that can win you any week. Cam Newton had an awful week, 12 points, probably one of his lowest going to be of the year. He has Cam Newton, Andre Johnson, and Adrian Peterson. Any one week, they can pop off, win you the week. We'll even throw Jordy Nelson in there, who's emerged as a playmaker. Something that doesn't make sense, he's drinking the Lions butter that's expired 10 years ago. Mikel LaShore doesn't even start. Why is he on your team? And Pettigrew put up -2. He's been awful for the last 3 years. That was a terrible draft pick. He's obviously a blocking tight end. And with Reggie Bush now, we just don't see Pettigrew getting that many targets. So other than that, the team, shows a lot of upside. Has big playmakers, actually trade rape the fuck out of Keith. And we will expect to see that team, going after a championship like they have in the past. So next thing up, maybe this owner's taking a turnaround. These top 3, I don't even know how this happened here, to be completely honest. These teams are making turnarounds. The next on our list is Team Sneeze. Maybe after 3 years of being the commissioner, he's able to finally figure out how to draft a team and manage one while also being the commissioner. A lot of upside to this team. Andrew Luck had a great first game. His running backs, we actually think, underperformed. Doug Martin and Darren McFadden with only 10 and 11 points. We know they're playmakers. Jimmy Graham only had 10. You know he's going to pop off. The one thing that hurt this team, he did first get bit in by the injury bug. Shane Vereen, going to be out a couple weeks, but Obviously, that's not going to affect him down the road in the playoffs here. He does need to make an improvement at wide receiver. Deshaun Jackson had a great game. James Jones put up 0 for you. Mohamed Sanu is on your bench with -1. You don't really have any other receivers. Needs to make a move there in that position, and he's then is 1 or 2 players away from competing for a championship here. So maybe this team's turned it around. We don't know. He does have DMC, who will probably get hurt here within the next week or two. But and the next team on our list, I shocked, absolutely shocked to see this team up here. But NFL now broke it down, and you just can't deny it. The team has talent. And that next team on our list is St. Christopher. Maybe things are turning around for them. People are writing on MSU crushes that Chris is so desirable, and even JD said, do they even know Coots? I don't know. He's tricking people. There's already speculation throughout the league that he may be juicing. Anytime you go from being one of the perennial worst teams in the league, compared to the Lions or Browns in the NFL, and to having this amount of talent on your team, something's not right there. So there's going to be those allegations all year. We'll see if he can keep it up. He's talent across the board. Running back with Ray Rice, Reggie Bush, D'Angelo Williams, who's getting all the touches right now, even has Joyke Bell on his bench. Great draft. The only thing that's going to stop this owner, in our opinion, is the owner himself. No idea why you would start Kyle Rudolph over Owen Daniels. Owen Daniels is known to be way better. It's a stupid move. This team could forget to check his lineup. It's pretty much been his demise in the past. Has the talent there, has the depth. Maybe you should make a move for, he's got the depth. Maybe you should get an all-star player. But, right now we like this team. He's the number 2 team in our power rankings right now. And we'll see if he can keep it up, or the upper Uper will come out in him. So, last team in our power rankings right now is, we're kind of surprised by this team. The Dushmar, the corn dog, 2 corns and a corn dog himself, Cone Dog, coming in at number 1 right now. Just looking at this team, talent across the board. Colin Kaepernick absolutely tearing up, and we agree. We think he's going to have a great year there. He has great running back depth. He has LaShawn McCoy. Giovanni Bernard had a quiet game, but we think he'll expand more as the season goes on. Even Daryl Richardson as his 3rd running back, and then his receiver talent, Demaryius Thomas, Mike Williams, and Jared Cook at tight end had an excellent game. The real reason we have him is, if you look at this guy's bench, he's a high-risk, high-reward kind of owner. He has Gronk on his bench. Imagine when that player comes back. And then to add in that, Josh Gordon and Justin Blackmon, who are both suspended right now. This owner took a lot of risk. He's looking like they're paying off right now. Hopefully something bad doesn't happen, but right now he is number 1 in our power rankings. If anyone wants to get me a job so I can stop doing this kind of stuff, I'm more than welcome to your opinions and suggestions. Other than that, I'm just going to be sitting here making these stupid power ranking videos every week. If you have any questions or concerns, let me know. I'll probably do a video later this week and tell you who's going to win the matchup of the week. Even maybe take a look at the lines, open up the gambling a little bit. But after week 1, we can't take too much of it. There's going to be your contenders and pretenders. Injuries are going to happen. There hasn't been that many injuries so far, but this is the week 1 power rankings, and it is martial law. So if you have a problem with it, then fuck yourself.